Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or as we like to call it, our little corner of the internet, which I love so very much. I'm so excited to go over these clips with you. The theme of today is urban legends. I forgot how much I love urban legends and folklore. I really would love to dive deeper in this. If you guys like it, make sure you let me know and make sure you're doing your own research. Part of the interesting thing to me about urban legends is that a lot of them do stem from true events, but things get muddy over time, so it's really difficult to pinpoint. It's kind of like whisper down the lane. It's cool. But remember, do your own research and stick around because we're going to announce the giveaway winner too. Very exciting stuff today. Let's go. In a moment. Oh, and please excuse my mess here. This room became Christmas Central and it's got all sorts of stuff. Ignore that.
There's a lady in black in almost every corner of Alabama, but few are as popular and as seen as this one. If you go to Prattville, Alabama and ask anybody, there's a high likelihood that someone will say that she exists. The story starts with Daniel Pratt, the founder of, well, Prattville. In 1838, he set up a permanent cotton gin in Prattville. This cotton gin became the leading manufacturer in the state of Alabama and also one of the leading producers of cotton in the world. With that came high demand and the employment of boys. One of the young workers actually got too close to the elevator shaft and fell down. His name was Willie Youngblood. Because of that, his mom grieved for nearly a year. Eventually, she came to the gin and joined her son when she went over the dam and into the river. His mom, however, became the infamous Lady in Black. At one point, over 50 workers had reported seeing her at the same time. Security and mayors have all co-signed sightings as well. And when I say hundreds, I really mean hundreds of people have seen a black apparition walking throughout the property or inside the factory. She's always seen in a state of mourning. Hopefully one day she can get her rest.
Yeah. Let's help this lady rest. There's got to be something that we can do. Send a priest out there. Something, right? That's so sad. Just mourning for all eternity.
If you still use one of these things, you might want to take caution. In the mid-80s, 17-year-old Jason Finley was found deceased in his bedroom with zero evidence as to what happened. Jason was in good health, and there was no evidence in his room that would suggest there was any kind of foul play that night. It wasn't until an autopsy revealed blood in Jason's inner ear, which points to an electrical surge of some kind. And that's when the pieces of this puzzle finally started to come together. Jason happened to be on the phone while there was a bad thunderstorm that night, and all it took was for his house to be struck by lightning and that electricity to travel through his telephone wires. The girl that Jason was on the phone with also admitted to hearing a weird clicking noise, a gasp from Jason, and then silence, which that kind of makes sense. When I was a teenager, I remember thinking that this was a complete myth, but it's not. It actually has happened and claimed several lives. But thankfully, that risk has greatly reduced due to less and less people using these kinds of phones. Unless you're a cell phone user that decides to use your phone while it's charging during a...
So what this says is while smartphone batteries carry a low voltage, lithium-ion batteries are about 3.7 volts. Attaching them to a charger puts you in a direct line to the high-intensity voltage from the power socket. This can be dangerous under certain conditions, such as when there's a short circuit or power surge. A case in point, a 24-year-old factory worker in Thailand was found dead in his bedroom in 2019. His cell phone was plugged into the wall while he listened to music on his earbuds. For some unlucky reason, the electricity surged into the phone and made contact with his ears.
Unless you're a cell phone user that decides to use your phone while it's charging during a power surge.
I do remember as a kid being told not to use the phone. I remember that.
This is one of the craziest urban legends I've ever heard, and it ended up being true. So almost 100 years ago, there was an aquarium in Australia that had a giant tiger shark on display. And the legend goes that one day, in front of like groups of families, the shark threw up a human arm. And not only is that true, but it opened a murder investigation. Also, this week's episode is all about Australian true urban legends, so make sure you listen. So after the shark threw up the human arm, the police had to figure out whose it was and why it was in the shark's belly. Well, the first thing the police noticed was the arm was cut cleanly, not jagged like it was from a shark bite, meaning that the arm was intentionally cut. So now it's clear that this was a murder, but whose arm is it? Well, one thing they noticed is that the arm has two boxers in a fighting stance tattooed on it. So they end up writing about that in the paper, and one guy who was reading it goes, "Hey, that sounds like my brother's tattoo." His brother was a man named Jim Smith, and he was involved in the seedy underbelly of Sydney society. Jimmy ran insurance fraud scams in Sydney, and he was just involved with a lot of bad people. And the last person he was seen with was one of Sydney's most notorious criminals. The story has a lot of twists, including how was he involved with the last guy he was seen with. And there's a lot of fun Australian urban legends like the story of the Button Man, so make sure you check out this week's episode.
Very interesting. If you guys hear any story on here that you'd like a deeper dive on, because some of them just barely touch the surface, I would love that honor. P.S. Has anyone seen the movie Urban Legend? Oh my gosh, it's one of my old school favorites. Love it.
What these guys caught on camera will freak you out. Watch the video and I'll explain after. So that slithery thing that looks like a snake wearing a wig is called a krasu. It's a famous ghost in Southeast Asia folklore. The ghost appears as a female with long black hair, with her organs on the outside. In a legend from Thailand, a beautiful princess was executed for loving someone of a lower status. She was going to be burned alive, but before she told a witch to cast a spell on her to save her. However, the spell was put on her too late, so it only saved this part of her. That's why her organs are on the outside. So what do you think? Did these guys capture this spirit? Because what is that? For more freaky stuff, follow me on YouTube.
Gulp. It seemed like it was attached to that goat. Thank goodness they fought it off. I believe I've seen a video very similar to this, but they called it a jinn. So, I'm not sure. Ready, guys? Hey guys, just a quick reminder that I make these videos every single day of the week. So if you're enjoying the content as much as I love creating it, go on ahead and hit that subscribe button and join this beautiful community. I also want to say it is time for the giveaway results. I'm really excited. We are definitely going to do more of these. These are cool. So what I did, first time ever, if anybody has other suggestions, go for it. I went to a randomizer, wheelofnames.com, and every single person in the Christmas video comments who said the word Mary, because I could tell some people had hashtags without the word and some people had, you know, Mary instead of Mary and just things like that. So I know what you guys mean. I just went through and anybody who said the word Mary, I went through and entered you in to the randomizer. And let's see. And I'll scroll through so you can see. Let's go. There's everyone. 25 beautiful souls. And then let's go. That sound though, right? That's nice. There we go. Yep, there we go. Rodney Adelson, thank you so much for being a part of this. It's Rodney Adelson 2861, and all you have to do is go ahead and shoot me an email. It's realdebontheweb at gmail.com. And just let me know your address and I will send that on over to you. That's cool. I love this so much. Congrats, Rodney. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you everybody who participated. This was really fun. We're going to go ahead and get back to our videos. Hope you're enjoying them. The Urban Legend Edition. Let's get back to it. Really quickly, here's one more view of that ornament. I can't wait. I can't wait to send it out. Okay. More urban legends. I'm really into the urban legend thing.
Have you ever heard of the Filipino urban legend of the Kumakatok? It's a Filipino urban legend about mysterious entities that knock on doors and windows in the middle of the night. The Kumakatok is often described as a faceless creature with long spindly arms that it uses to knock on windows or doors. Some versions of the legend say that if you answer the knock, the Kumakatok will ask for a glass of water or will request to come inside your house. However, if you let them in, something terrible will happen to you or someone in your family. In some versions of the legend, the Kumakatok is said to be a vengeful spirit seeking revenge on someone who wronged them in life. Other versions suggest that the Kumakatok is a demon or an evil spirit that preys on humans. The Kumakatok is often used as a cautionary tale to warn children against staying up late or answering the door for strangers.
A lot of these, same as the Christmas legends, I wonder if it's just to keep kids in check or if there's something behind this, because obviously children are those that need protection, you know, the innocent animals, children, babies, like, so they are the most vulnerable. It would make sense, but I don't know. It's just scary. Don't open the door for anything, especially once it's weird and dark, especially if you live in the middle of nowhere. Just don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
This Japanese urban legend is one of the most chilling, disturbing ones. The legend is called Kuchisake Onna, which means the slit mouth woman. If anybody's in Japan, or if you ever go to Japan and you see a woman in a trench coat and a surgical mask, and she asks you, "Am I pretty?"
Yo, I heard about this.
Run away, bro. And it starts off with a woman who was really, really beautiful. She was married to a samurai. She would go out in the town and stuff. The people that would stare at her, she would ask them, "Do you think I'm pretty?" Her knowing obviously the answer, but she just liked the attention.
What about?
Her husband didn't like that. She was getting all that attention. And there was a point where that woman ended up having an affair with another man. The samurai found out, obviously was furious, has to plan to basically make her pay. So there was one day where he ran up on her, pressed the knife against her cheek, and cut a smile from ear to ear. Literally told her, "Who's gonna think you're beautiful now?" She ended up dying, and she returned to Earth as a vengeful spirit who haunts the streets of Japan. She would approach you, and then she would ask you, "Am I pretty?" Depending on your answer, there's different outcome. If you say no, you automatically die, bro. She takes out long-ass surgical scissors, she kills you. If you say yes, she gets closer to you, unravels the mask, and then you see her disfigured smile, and asks you again, "Do you think I'm pretty?" If you say yes again, she cuts the same slits, basically match her smile. People say that they came up with a way to try to avoid her is if she asks you if she's pretty, give her a generic boring answer like, "Not your average," because it'll confuse her. That gives you enough time to run away.
5 out of 10. Like, you can do better.
I don't think she's going to be confused if someone tells her she's not that pretty. I think she understands that quite well. I think you just run. Goodness. Skinwalkers. Oh.
This is the true story of the Skinwalkers. Skinwalkers are warlocks with the ability to shapeshift and become animals or people. They can not only take your appearance but also clone your voice perfectly. The biggest Skinwalker sightings have been in Ohio and Arizona, but they are found all over the world. The preferred form of Skinwalkers is that of your pet. They take the form of your pet and enter your home and try to act like your pet to gain your trust, and then they can take your life. Watch how in this video the boy realizes that his dog is a Skinwalker.
Let me see. I'll know if she's my dog. Merlin, sit. Turn around. Turn around. Lay down. You're not my dog. My dog don't know how to do no fucking trick. The fuck? Call 911. Hey! Somebody!
I'm going to go ahead once again say I don't believe the pet thing. I think it's a really dangerous thing to put out there because there are crazy people who are going to think their pets are something else and hurt them for no reason. Truthfully, that was that guy's. And that's another thing. Like, that was obviously that guy's dog. She's trying to do all the tricks and being a good little one, and he just slams the door on her. It's so messed up. Guys, stop doing dumb stuff for the internet. Please. Your pets are not weird entities other people in your house are more likely weird entities if you want the truth.
A man woke up and saw this by his window. Late one night, a man by the name Charlie from Jalisco, Mexico, woke up to strange sounds coming from the front of his house. Something galloping can be heard getting closer. But as the man patiently waits for it to pass by, nothing's there. Charlie believes that what he captured that night was the manifestation of El Charro Negro, a horseman entity of Mexican tale who's believed to wander the night in search of an unsuspecting victim in order to offer a malicious deal. After watching the clip, I'm not sure whether to be scared by the window opening or by the entity.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and wait right here while everybody can go ahead and put that comment that says, obviously, that was just something on the radio or TV or whatever. Could be. I don't know. That's the whole point of urban legends. The ambivalence of it all. The what is it really or what could it be? That's the beauty of this. There's really, you could research it till the horses come home or till the cows come home or you know what I mean? But you're never going to really find the truth. But that doesn't mean they don't stem from some truth. That's what's scary about them.
All right, this is the full story of Big Mary. So Big Mary the Gravekeeper, she was born different. Now, back in the day when you was born different, your family would feel shame, especially if they thought that they was like, you know, uppity type people or whatever. So they left her at the church house. Now, she grew up around the church. Now, growing up in the church, you know, they real strict. They was, you know, teaching her, you know, the bad, especially back then, boy, you know, they lay that switch on you real quick back then, man. But they was real loving to her. You know, they wasn't just beating on her and stuff, but, you know, they was teaching her right and all this and that. So she tried to go to school, but, you know, the kids would make so much fun of her. It was hard for her. And back then, you know, they didn't have special needs and stuff and all that like they do today. So a lot of the schooling she did, she would do at the church. They just like would homeschool her to stop her from having to experience all that. Now, you know how like them people like savants, like the people who like real like autistic or get Asperger's or something I think it's called, where they like real smart at one thing. Like, you know, they might not be able to function in society and all that, but they be real sharp at, you know, it might just be one random thing. They just do better than anybody. Now, her thing was she was just an amazing worker. She had the strength of like 6 guys, you know, cause especially back then, you know, women back then was built way different than women now. Like, you know, them women back then, like, you know, my mama and grandma and them women was walking tanks, man. You know, these women now, they ain't, you know, they ain't the same, man. Them women back then was just tanks, boy. You couldn't take them out if you wanted to, man. But anyway, so yeah, that was her. Now, she did a good job working around the church, keeping the grass and stuff nice, keeping the bushes and all that hedge. She would just, you know, knock trees down, like bend trees over and tear them down. Like whatever needed to be done, she done. So people around the neighborhood, you know, hire her to do little stuff around their house. And, you know, and people weren't really creeped out by her, like, but the kids was, you know, the kids would make, you know, little jokes and little games about her. They say that's where that Miss Mary Mack hand clap game come from her. So, you know, the kids would make up rumors and all that stuff about her. So I might have to do more than one part. I already see, God. I only can do 3 minutes. Don't get mad. I only can do 3 minutes at a time, all right? So eventually, the graveyard started getting more and more people added to it because more and more people was dying. Now, black folk couldn't afford their own grave, like a nice graveyard, so it would just be raggedy. But she started keeping it up and was doing such a good job that everybody around the place started paying her to keep the graveyard up. And this time, she still was a teenager. I'm gonna have to do another part, man. You only can do 3 minutes at a time.
So I was gonna put more of this in, but it's another one of those things I kind of want to see if you guys are interested in before I just start taking up tons of time on one specific thing. But I will happily look into this Miss Mary Mack thing. Very interesting. The upside down man.
Scariest urban legends from around the world. This is the story of the Cooper family photo. They don't teach you this shit in history class. Grab a flashlight and a comfort blanket because it's about to get eerie. So picture this, 1950s Texas, right? This family, the Coopers, they've just moved into their new home. Feeling chipper, they say, let's snap a family picture to commemorate the move. So they sit at their dining table, smiles all around, the picture gets taken. All normal, right? But oh no, it ain't. When they develop the film, right there, clear as day, there's a body falling or hanging, upside down in midair like something out of a goddamn horror movie. And this ain't no regular Joe either. He's transparent, a ghost, his face distorted in a scream, hands dangling at his sides. Straight up nightmare fuel. And you know what the most chilling part is? They had no idea this phantom was there when they took the shot. No dude dangling from the ceiling, nothing unusual, just them in their new home, all happy and shit. As soon as this thing hits the internet, it blows the up. People are freaking out, calling it an authentic ghost photograph, the best proof of paranormal activity and all that jazz. Skeptics come out of the woodworks too, crying hoax, saying it was double exposure or some clever editing. But here's the thing, the original source of the photo is nowhere to be found. It's like it just popped out of thin air, so we're left in the dark debating whether it's a genuine supernatural occurrence or just a well-crafted hoax. Regardless, it's creepy as I'll give it that. Now I've got to ask, would you stay in a house with an uninvited spectral guest? Because if I saw that thing dangling around in my family photo, I'd be out faster than you could say ghost. Good luck getting me back in there, pal.
I mean, if that's a true photo, that's freaking horrifying. And the answer would be a big no. But is it real is the question. It kind of looked like a pencil drawing a little, the guy part of it, the upside down person. And I know there are going to be people who say something like, oh, it hit the internet in the 50s or whatever. But I think they mean, you know, this photo existed over time. And then once it did hit the internet, everyone was like, oh, you know, like that.
This is maybe the scariest urban legend I've ever heard, and it ended up being true. Back in the 1970s, there was this terrifying fun house in Long Beach, California called the Laff In The Dark. And there was always this urban legend that all the mannequins inside were fake, except for one. Also, mind you, this is what this week's episode is about, so if you don't want spoilers, just listen to the episode. This urban legend came to be because there was one mannequin inside that just looked wrong. All of the other ones looked fake, but this one in particular looked way too human. And a bunch of the kids also said the area that the mannequin was in just smelled really, really bad. So a few years go by, and one day a film crew comes in and is using Laff In The Dark for a film set. The director's lining up a shot, and he just doesn't like the way this one mannequin looks in frame. So he goes over to a crew member and he's like, hey, can you just move this out of the shot? So the crew member goes over and starts moving the mannequin when its arm pops off. And inside of the mannequin's arm is human bone. The kids had been totally right. The mannequin was a mummified body. There's so much more to this story, like who the person was and how they got there, and I talk about the whole thing this week on the episode.
That is scary. Kind of reminded me of House of Wax. Really awful because it's clearly true. Or it could be true. I don't know. What do you think? We're going to go ahead and pause here, give us some stuff to think about, decide if we're enjoying the urban legend editions, because we can definitely do more of these, or maybe some deep dives. But we're going to get to the good clip. It's really good, guys. Tissues necessary. I'll wait. Okay.
We're not searching for a house for us.
Then what the hell are we doing here?
We are searching for a house for you. This is yours.
Oh, so you give me a key to your house?
This is your house, Pop.
What? What?
This is your house.
No,
dude, it's yours.
No, Michael.
Dad.
No.
It's yours.
I don't deserve it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and I just don't deserve it.
You deserve everything, Pop.
How sweet of a moment to catch on video. I think this is something that we all in our hearts want to be able to do for those who have taken care of us. Just to give back in a big way that makes such an impact for them. It's really beautiful. Well, that's where we're going to end it. I just want to say thank you for being here. Congrats again. Don't forget to send me your address so that I can send you that ornament. I can't wait. We're ornament buddies now. All right, guys, have the best day. I can't wait till the next giveaway. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about Urban Legend Edition. And just which are your favorites, or if there's any I haven't mentioned, I really would love it. So good night to you, beautiful souls. I hope everyone's feeling well, getting ready to start this new year of 2025. It's going to get better, right? It's going to be great. We are full of positivity for the future, and I am certain it will pay off. It's going to be the year of disclosure. It's going to be the year of just taking control of our own lives, because we know that we have it. We may not have control of anything outside of that, but our own reactions and things like that, that's all us. So this is the year of us. Good night to my beautiful grandma, my amazing family, and all of you wonderful people out there who chose to spend some time with me tonight. I appreciate it. I will see you next time. I want to show you my crow again because I love this. Thank you again, James, for that. And good night, my friends.